Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we got some interesting rumors coming out from Fisher. I think his name is, I don't want to mess up his first name, so I'm just going to say Mr. Fisher has dropped something. He's a very credible source, extremely credible source. Um, the Lakers are interested in possibly trying to throw Patrick Beverly and Lonnie Walker into a deal that would get us Bogdan Bogdanovich from Atlanta. Not Bojan from Detroit, different person. Bogdan from Atlanta. Also, fantastic shooter, amazing shooter, a shooter I've been telling you guys needs to get the heck out of Atlanta and into a situation where he can get his shots up. This is definitely that situation. I'm ecstatic, and we need to do it. It needs to be done if we can get it done. I don't see a reason not to. Now we will have to throw in some pick compensation, and that would be tricky because if they want me to throw in the first round pick for this deal, I'm not gonna be able to sign off on that. I think he's a good enough shooter to get in your organization, but I don't know that I'm giving up the 29 pick for him. In fact, I know I'm not. I know for a fact I'm not. Not for expiring contracts that are going to help to get those players off their books. Lonnie Walker's a player they can throw straight into their situation, and he's going to be great for the Hawks. He's going to run. In fact, I think in some very real way, those are players the Hawks can really use. Even though they got a lot of guards, when you talk about Lonnie Walker going to Atlanta and DeJounte Murray and the whole team that they got over there, I like that for them. And for us, that's great. We need to shoot it. Get us, yes, get us Bogdanovich. Yes, that's a no brainer for us. That is an absolute no brainer. We got to do that. Now you're gonna lose a lot of defensive IQ with Patrick Beverly going out. Um, but as we said, we know what our problems are. We know what our problems are. And to be quite honest with you, now that Vanderbilt is coming in and Anthony Davis is considered healthy, hopefully he stays that way. Um, we're a very dangerous defensive team right now. Very dangerous. So we're not necessarily the same thing. And plus, what you're talking about bringing back is another guy who can light it up for 30, 25. Like he's going to score like crazy. And that's open shots for him that he ain't never seen before with Anthony Davis and LeBron James on the team. We're talking about possibly a championship clinching piece, depending on how well they gel. But from what my mindset is saying to me is, all you're doing is really putting LeBron James on the floor with a bunch of people he can pass to, and they're gonna hit the shot. You got Malik Beasley on the floor. Now you're putting Bogdan Bogdanovich on the floor, and we're talking about D'Lo in another corner. I mean, these guys are gonna be on the floor most of the time. They're gonna be splashing all over the place. So at this point, it's like, and you understand that Vanderbilt's gonna do a lot of the defensive roaming. So you're gonna be a very tough team to beat in the Western Conference. It's very weak. We're talking about some really serious stuff here. Now I don't know if Bogdan is having the type of season that you would want him to have to feel like he's gonna come in and just blow the roof off. But what I'm telling you is he's in a very unique spot where Trae Young's doing a lot over there, and it's not necessarily going to be as cohesive as what it is we would probably put him in over here with Bron and AD. It's basically do what it is that he does best: catch, shoot, catch, shoot. You know what I mean? And his second units go crazy with the rest of the shooting units that we will have down there, which is what they will be, shooting units. I'm excited about this particular type of piece if we can actually pull it off. I'm not super excited about whatever pick equity would be going out because I think we just used up all our picks in the deal we just did. The second rounders, that is. I hope we didn't, though. I hope we didn't, and I hope that's what would be required to do this. If it's second round picks going out to do this, I'm happy. Give me Bogdanovich. If you guys follow this channel, you've heard me say his name enough to know that I'm excited about bringing this piece in. I'm very excited. I didn't think he would be a piece we could get. And I know he's on a 1 year expiring deal, I believe, at $18 million. But I don't care. We want him to help us win this year. That's the point. Even if he is a rental, which he shouldn't be for our franchise, we should want to re-sign him. But, yeah, I'm excited. I think this would be the best situation he's ever been in. The situation in Sacramento was good for him to a degree. He made a name for himself. But he wasn't necessarily needed. They had Buddy Yield on the team, Swiper on the team. There was a lot of stuff going on down there with the guards rotation. When he got out of there, he immediately ended up in Trey Young's rotation. And you know how that goes. And so in this situation, in my opinion, this would be the best situation he's been in his career. For him to be himself, do the things that we need him to do, and just light people up, man. Light people up from behind the arc. He's incredibly gifted from behind the arc. Just like D'Lo, just like Beasley. So like I said, we go from a bad 3-point shooting team to probably a very good 3-point shooting team. It's a different team, y'all. I'm telling you, we're gonna have to learn this team like it's the first day of school. I kid you not. It's new season. This must have been how it felt for LeBron James when he was in Cleveland that year when they made that trade that I was talking about earlier today. Ironically, 24 hours, less than 12 hours ago, I was talking about how we should probably do something like this to get as many pieces as we can so that we'd have an entirely new team, and that's essentially what we have. Even though some of the role players that we still have in place, we can kind of keep on the floor for now to keep some type of continuity. But we're going to have new starters, new roles, new traits, identity traits, different ways we have to accumulate certain things, an unnecessary need to even address other things because we're so good at these things now. It's going to get weird around here trying to assess this new squad. But what I can say is, in my mind, this is a good contending basketball team. And that's assuming we're able to move Pat in this deal, and of course Lonnie getting back Bogdanovich for Atlanta without giving up a first rounder. I hear the salary the numbers match, so man, if Rob can pull this off, man, you'll have some people feeling pretty good about this year's team. The chances that this team can really do the things that LeBron needs for them to just be who he needs them to be. My question is, does this team, and I'm not saying that I have thought about this in any way, I'm literally posing the question. Because a lot of times people are like, my question is, and they have something in mind. No, I'm saying it's an immediate question. My question is, can they play together without him? And so that's what I'll be looking to find out in my head as I assess these pieces coming together. Because ain't no way for me to answer that yet. I ain't even thought about it. But I know that's the next thing to think about is, are these pieces going to be able to play together? And if not, can the next trade that we make bring the piece together that can make it so that they are a cohesive bunch without AD and Bron? Because that is ever so important when you have a core that isn't reliable to stay healthy. And so, assessing this team, just in a quick glance, it seems to me they'll be fine. It looks like they have enough stuff in my mind's eye to do a lot of work against teams without AD and Bron. Closer available in D'Lo, defensive player in Vanderbilt. Depending on what they do with Thomas Bryant, he could definitely score in the paint. Like I said, Vanderbilt can help him when you can be in that process. JTA is now out, so that whole thing I was worried about in regards to our forward position, it helped with them extracting JTA in that situation. Now, Wenyen Gabriel can at least see some back of the bench minutes in place. Obviously, he's going to be dealing with Rui Hachimura, Anthony Davis, Vanderbilt, Thomas Bryant. You know, it's a lot, but it's not as much as it was when you're considering as many as we were going to have. Slapping Vanderbilt on top of this thing with JTA still here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, is a plethora of players that can play in Anthony Davis' stead in the event he is out. Vanderbilt can hold that down. Wenyen can hold that down. Rui can help with that. Bron can help with that. So the size is there. We got our AD insurance in theory that I was hopeful to see. Layers and layers of bigs that I've been asking us to have for him. So we should not extract Wenyen Gabriel. We should keep him on tab. Sorry, when you're just not going to play very much. We need you, though. That sucks, but it's the truth. We just need the length, and we need to keep him healthy, which means the guys behind him got to be good, and the guy behind that guy got to be good. That's just the vision. And if we do it right, everybody will be a champion together, so it'll be worth it. But it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, how's our forward situation looking? Of course, you definitely want to keep Rui Hachimura there, and I'm seeing a small forward position now. Thomas Troy Brown in that situation is available to you. Of course, Bogdan Bogdanovic, he plays the three, so you definitely want to give him some looks there. And usually Malik Beasley can play some three as well. Of course, LeBron James and Max Christie, all these guys, the good thing for yourself is you can play most of them 2, 3, some of them can play the 4. So these are interchangeable pieces that you got a lot of length and size options that you could put down there. Obviously, Austin Reeves is in that mix as well, so he can play some 1, so you don't have to necessarily move him out of the situation because he can come in for D'Lo sometimes and swap in for other guards like Bogdan and Beasley and Troy. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff you can do there. So I like the roster. I wonder what happens with Schroeder. That's who I'm wondering about. I'm wondering what happens with Schroeder. Because it looks like his role is still here, to be honest with you. It looks like his role is still here. He's played well enough to be somebody we want. I don't know how much he's going to demand in the offseason. But if we're stripping ourselves of Lonnie, we've already gotten rid of Kendrick. Patrick would be also out in the situation. Russ is gone. D'Lo in. I think Schroeder still has a spot on the team. I think that's how that works. I think he's still with us. Because I don't see the fruit in trading him unless I'm upgrading. And he really is productive. And if he's going to be my backup behind D'Lo, that should be fine. Now, I don't know if I want them alongside each other because I don't think we're good enough defensively there. But if you got AD and Bron in place, maybe you can get away with it. But you're still going to be getting cooked. Your guard's going to be getting cooked. You didn't let go of Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly. So you got to know that. You got to know that. That's what this team needs to. We must understand as I look at this team, I'm like, all right, when we do this Bogdanovic, definitely do this trade, no question. But we must understand where we've lost some defensive guard play. We have to reimagine our entire understanding of our guard play because we used to our guards being able to track people around. Patrick Beverly's a defensive madman. He's one of the greats. And the problem is that he just can't score for us. But you're always better defensively. He's not only going to do good things for you, but he's going to make other people better defensively. That's why Darvin leans on him so much. I think the thing is, though, when you extract him from the situation, you're losing energy. Just like I said with Russell Westbrook, that energy's gone. And then what you're also losing is that dog, that loud dog, that energy giver, that person that's going to pick people up as well. I see him kind of picking up the stars. Bron and AD, he going to look them in the eye and say, get up. You know, the continuity keeper to a degree. So we're going to lose something in the locker room, you know. And so it's a lot of things to understand. We're getting much younger. We're going to have to self-motivate. This is something that's very important because Anthony Davis ain't necessarily that in a way where he self-motivates. Bron sometimes him too. And a lot of the guys that stayed self-motivated have been extracted. So you need to understand that. It's not that I disagree with it. It's just a new problem we got to understand. So we have a new spirit about our team. We gotta know who it is, and hopefully, with Beasley coming in, who's a dog, D'Lo coming in, who's ice in his veins, and Vanderbilt who's coming in, who's going to quickly become everybody's favorite player. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what those guys bring in versus what is being extracted, and how much any of that being extracted even matters once you start seeing what these guys bring in. It's like, okay, we lost Russell Westbrook, so how are we going to get the continuity in passing and all of that? Well, it's like, no, that's not even an issue as much because now your guards and your forwards have entirely different roles, and now your forwards are going to be doing things that make you forget that even that's an issue. because he'll be blocking shots so much and rebounding so much and getting easy putbacks, stuff like that. And the continuity will be found if we keep Dennis Schroeder, which is another reason why I'm mulling over making sure his piece stays. Because I can look up, and a good night from him, he'll have 10 assists, 11 assists. Even though his efficiency might not be there, you'll get the assists you need to keep the continuity necessary. So I think I like Dennis Schroeder on this roster, and I'm trying to reimagine it entirely. Troy Brown and his piece, I think he still fits just fine, obviously. But I think he's expiring too, so they may shop him. I don't think I would. I don't think I would at all. I tell you, man, I like our team. I'm trying to put it all together, and it's one of my favorite things to do. It's like one of my favorite times of the year. The only thing about it is there are other trades to announce and then break down and all that. But I'm so enthralled in what our team is doing that I don't really know if I'm gonna be giving y'all the same type of energy that I usually do on trade deadline. We'll just see how it plays out. But I'll definitely be on this camera, breaking down everything that goes on, to the best of my ability. Because the trade deadline is right around the corner tomorrow. I think around I never did find out what time, but it's in the midday, around lunch times. So I think when it really comes down to it, we've already seen some trades to come through, and I'll report on one of the ones that I've heard about in another video. But this Laker team looks good, man. And I think this Bogdanovich rumor, if we can get it done, puts us in a fantastic position to have the shooting that we've been missing for years. Not just this season, probably about 6 years. We ain't had no shooting like this. No exaggeration, man. When do y'all remember having shooters like this? I don't think we ever had shooters in position to be able to, just have that specialty and just be all over the floor. Not even some of the old days. We had like Sasha Vujacic, the machine. Obviously we brought some guys to us over the years that could shoot, but these designated great shooters that just happen to come into the league, we usually don't have them, man. We usually don't end up with those guys. We're always looking for other things to kind of put around Kobe and put around Bron, AD, put around the kids. It just never really was the go-to shooter. But I think right now, with Beasley on the team, that's one of them. With D'Lo on the team, that's definitely another one. And then we go get Bogdanovich, boom. Now we're talking about being able to shoot teams down every night. And LeBron James in a situation like that, where he gets to drive at the rim and the guys that he's kicking to in the corner are lethal. I'm telling you, it really, he doesn't need a whole lot more than that to beat teams. He never has needed much more than that to beat teams. The problem has been he didn't have enough of that to beat teams with. But when these Cleveland Cavaliers were able to launch 33s and hit them all, they won. It's basically what it comes down to. And that's what the Lakers just didn't give them. And I was calling for this about a month ago, maybe a little less than that. I said, why don't we just forget all that and just get this man a bunch of shooters and dumb it down for ourselves? Just give him a bunch of shooters and just wipe our hands with it. And I think the Lakers are doing a dang good job of that if they pull off this second trade. Especially if they don't put in that first round pick for it. Because if they can keep that pick for one more trade after that, or just keep the pick entirely and keep that equity for ourselves after doing all of this, I think I feel fantastic, to be honest with you. So, yeah, that's where I want to lead this, man. I got another trade to announce, and I'm pretty sure other stuff is probably rolling in as the night will fall. So I'll keep up as much of it as I can, and then we'll see where the morning takes us. So that's what it is, man. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.